Hey guys, welcome to this brand new tutorial going over our skull template with the trucker hat. In this video we're going to go over how to change colors, apply your logos, rendering out, how to make a GIF, etc. As you can see here on our screen, we're on our listing of where you can purchase this template. Once you do purchase it, it does come with an instant download. You simply just download the files and it'll come in a zip folder. All you need to do is either extract the zip folder if you're on PC. If you're on MacBook, all you have to do is double click this, and inside this folder there will be a Blender file, and it's already set up for you. All you got to do is just watch this video and follow along. The link to buy this 3D model will be in the bio. Would love to hear suggestions from you guys of what other models you'd like to have for your brand, but let's get into this. So once you open up your Blender file, you're going to see something like this. We have everything already set up. We made it as easy as possible for you guys to maneuver and try to customize it yourself if you're a beginner. So if you look over here to the right, this is where your scene collection is going to be at, and we named all the objects such as the bill, front panel, meshes, the sew tape, etc. So first we're going to go over how to change the color. You can either click over here on the right side of what object you want to change the color of, or you could simply just click on that object, and if you look down here inside of material properties, you'll see there's a material already made and labeled as silver skull. So if you'd like to still use that chrome look and change the color, you can. If you go over here to base color, you'll get an RGB wheel, and with this you can simply click and select what color you like. As you can see, it changed to red, or maybe we want green. It's up to you, whatever you're feeling like, whatever your design is like. So for now we're just going to keep it at silver. Same concept with the teeth. Go to base color and select your teeth color. If you don't want the teeth to have any color, or maybe you just want to get rid of it, just delete it by pressing X and deleting it. Same thing applies to all the meshes and panels. If you want to change the color, we already made a material for you labeled hat mesh, and you'd simply go to base color. You could either input RGB numbers or a hex code if you want to be precise on your color, but you could simply just select what color you like and it'll change all the mesh panels on the hat. So you can see right now it's pink. We can do yellow, green, blue, etc. For now we'll just leave it at black. We really made this as simple as possible. You simply just select what object you want to change, and you can easily just change the color or any properties of that object. So if for some reason your file, when you open it, it looks pink like this, that means that there isn't an environment texture, and it's a simple fix. There is an HDR file included in your download. Go to open, click on it, and it'll get rid of that pink and display the lighting for the object. There are websites like Polyhaven where you can download free HDRs and you can give it a whole new look. It's all up to you and your taste. So next we're going to go over how to add your logo. So we're going to add our logo right here in the middle, and to do this you're going to have to add an image plane, and it should already be a default on this Blender file, but just in case it isn't, you're going to want to go to edit, preferences, then you go to add-ons and look for image planes. Just in case yours isn't for some reason, you just want to check that on and just hit refresh, and once you do that you can go to add, go down to image, and you'll have this option of adding images as planes. So click on this. Once you select your file, it's going to show up right here. As you can see, you can't see it because it's inside of the skull, but you can just move it around with the move tool by clicking on these arrows, and now you can see our logo pops up. The best file types to use to add logos to your 3D skull or 3D hat is going to be transparent PNG files. So as you can see, it's borderless. It only displays the logo. and that's exactly what we're looking for. So we're gonna go up here and click on the Y so that we can get a good look of the front of our 3D object, and we're just gonna place this logo right in the middle of the hat. To resize the logo, you can use S key and you simply just move your mouse up and down, or you can use the scale tool over here, click on the outer white circle and just drag. We're gonna do this size right here. You can see over here we're getting a whole different outcome on this side than this. So we're gonna look at it at a different angle, and you can see that it's nowhere near the front of the cap. So we're gonna have to drag this closer, and the same thing, you can see that the front of the hat is at an angle and our logo is vertical. We want to make sure that it comes out as clean as possible, so we're gonna use the rotate tool, or you can click R and it'll rotate the logo to the same angle of the hat, and just drag it a little bit closer. So right there is pretty good. So once you decide your size of the logo and the placement, now we're gonna add it on to the front of the hat. So first you're gonna want to go to edit mode. You can do this by clicking up here where it says object and then click edit mode. Once you're in this mode, you're gonna right click and do subdivide, and you're gonna see it added more squares to your logo, and you're just gonna want to keep doing this until there's a bunch of squares. So now you see there's a bunch of more squares to your logo. So now once you do that, you can get out of edit mode and go back into object mode, and you're going to go over here to the right where it says modifier properties and add a modifier to your logo. For this we're going to do shrink wrap, and for the wrap method you're going to select project, hit negative, unclick positive, and your target's going to be the front of the hat. So you're just going to use this eyedrop tool and click on the front of the hat, and you can see it's under the 3D object, so we're going to need to fix that. So if you go down here to offset and type in a number like 0.002, and you can see our logo is now above the 3D object. And if it isn't, you can keep playing with it, maybe add like a higher number, but if you go too high you'll see that it starts floating over the 3D object, but we kind of want it to be like a sticker, like a print. So 0.002 is the best option. And if you go to your material properties, you can change the properties of your logo, like the specular. This just makes it more shiny. It's just up to what your design is and how you want it to look. I want it to look like more of an ink print or screen print. We're just gonna bring this to like 0.3 to give it a more realistic look. So there you go. That is how you add logos. So let's say you want to add a logo back here on the back of your hat. This does require an extra step since this is two different 3D objects. We're going to do the same steps, add an image as plane, and we're going to do the same steps as we did at the front. Try to get it at a good angle, a good position. This is where I want to put my logo. So we're going to do the same thing. You're going to go to edit mode and right click and do subdivide a couple times. Then you can get out of edit mode, back into object mode, and go down to modifier properties and do shrink wrap. You're going to do project, negative, unclick positive, and then you're going to target a mesh panel. So you can see what just happened. Since these are two different panels, it's only going on to the panel we selected. So you can see it's giving you a messed up look, and that's not what we're looking for. So to fix this, you simply select both of these panels and do Control J, and this groups the panels together, making it one object. So now if we try again and target the panel, now you'll see that it sits on both of the panels. So we're going to add offset to it, and there you go. Now we have our logo on the back of our hat. You can still scale it and change it to what you want it to look like. If you need to move it up or down, you can still. So now we're gonna have to parent these logos onto our 3D object to animate it. So I'm gonna click play and show you what I mean about parenting. You'll see that the logos don't stay where they're supposed to be, and we're gonna have to fix that by parenting the logos to an empty. So right now you can see we have an empty right here, and this is actually what you animate. We're gonna delete this real quick. And now you see we have our model with our logos. And we're gonna add an empty again. If you click Shift A, an add menu is gonna pop up. Go down to empty and click on plane axis. So now you see an empty popped up right in the middle of our object, which is perfect. So now we're gonna parent our 3D object and logos to the empty. First, you're gonna select Control I, and you can see that it inverts the selection. Just make sure you don't have any other objects present that you don't want to rotate. So if this sun object is on and you do the inverse selection, this will start rotating with the model. Or the same thing with their camera. If you inverse, it will select the camera as well, and it'll start spinning it, and it won't give you the outcome that you want. So just make sure to unselect these, and only the 3D model and our logos are present. So we're going to select our empty again and hit Control I. Once you do that, you're going to hold Shift and click on the empty again. And you'll know you clicked on it whenever it highlights orange like this. Once you do that, you're going to do Control P, and you're going to go down to Object, Keep Transform. So now you made the empty your 3D model's parent. So now anything this empty does, your 3D model will follow. So you can see if I drag it up and down, it's doing everything my empty does. So we're going to animate this and make it rotate into 360. To do this, you're going to see down here there's a timeline, and you're going to make sure you're at frame number 1, and you're going to come over here to Object Properties, and you're going to add a keyframe to the Z rotation. So you can see right here, once it highlights yellow, that means it's animated. Then you're going to want to go to the very last frame, which is 150, but to give you a smooth loop, you're going to want to skip one frame, and you're going to type in 360 or negative 360, whatever you want to do, whatever looks best for you. And you're going to also add a keyframe. So now when we push play, you're going to see our object rotates with our empty. So now once you get all the way to here, you're only a couple steps to rendering out and having this onto your website or social medias. We're going to render this out as an MP4 and also show you how to render it out as a PNG file, which is going to be used to make a GIF file. So if you go out to Output Properties, you're going to see Resolution. For MP4 files, we go to 1080p. You can go higher if you want to, depending on what you're using it for, but for social media like Instagram, they typically will compress anything over 1080p. So we just do 1080. Frame rate 24 FPS. And if you scroll down to output, just click the location of where you want to save it and give it a name. And we're going to change this to MP4. So you want to go down here to FFmpeg video. And you're going to see encoding. And you're going to change the container to be an MPEG-4, which is MP4. Then you're going to open up video. Keep the codec the same. The output quality should be perceptually lossless, and everything else can be the same. So once you do that, you can go up to the top left up here to render, and you're going to select render animation. And once you do that, your animation is going to start rendering out and give you your final product. To make a GIF file. Now to render it out, to make a GIF file for your website, the quality does have to go down. For websites, you typically want to have the smallest files to increase loading speeds. If your file is too big, it's going to hurt your website and your sales. It's just no good. So you got to find a good medium of quality and also small file size. We just go with 600 px. And you're going to scroll down, and the same thing, you're going to choose where to save your files at. And for this, you're going to want to make a new folder and title it like GIF and save your files in here, because it is going to give you multiple PNG files, and it just keeps you more organized. And you're going to go to file format, and you're going to change this to PNG. So you're going to see right here color, it's at RGB right now, but we want it to have a transparent background, so make sure to select RGBA. Everything else can stay the same. Now we do have to change the amount of frames on this render. 135 is a good range for frames. And since your animation's set to go to 150 frames, you're going to need to change this. So right now you can see they're both highlighted. You just want to move this one at the end, so click on it. And you're going to want to drag it to 136. We do this so that you can have a smooth loop. You need to do this so you can have a seamless loop. If you put it on 135, it's going to do a little hiccup. So just make sure you put it at 136. So now once you change all that, you're going to want to go to the same area, which is render, and then do render animation. And now it's going to render out all your PNG files to make your GIF. Once your PNGs are done rendering, you can go to a website like EZGif.com. In this website, you're going to be able to make your GIF. So if you click on GIF Maker and do choose files, go to your folder where you saved your PNGs, and you're just going to select all of the PNGs. Click open and then do upload and make GIF file. It'll take a couple seconds or even a minute. Depending how big your files are, the longer it'll take. Once it's done uploading, you're going to see all your PNG files, and you're going to want to go scroll down all the way to the bottom. You're going to go to GIF options, delay time 0. Then in effects, you're going to want to check do not stack frames. You want to click on make a GIF. Once it's done making the GIF, you're going to scroll down and see your GIF is made, but you can see that it's kind of choppy, and you can fix this by clicking on speed. Then you're going to click on this drop down and do hundredths of a second, and inside of this input you're going to type in 4. Now if you scroll down, you're going to see that your GIF is seamless, clean, and ready to use on your website. So this file did come out kind of big, 12 megabytes, but if you do want to compress it, you can on the same website. Just go to optimize, and you can select your compression level. So let's just do, let's say 50, do optimize GIF. Now you see that your GIF went 51% lower. So now it's at almost 6 megabytes, which is way better than 12. But the more you compress your file, obviously you're going to lose quality. So it just depends on you and what is more important for you. Would you prefer higher quality or faster loading speeds? So once you're done with that, you can go over here and click save. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope this really helped you guys. I hope you learned something new from this video. If there's anything that you're still confused of or anything that I missed, just reach out and ask me a question. I'll try to get to you as soon as possible. Or I'll try to make another tutorial going over those questions. I'll have the link in the bio of where you can purchase this template on our website. If you do make something with this template, I'd really like to see it. Tag us in it at webexp.dev on Instagram. See you guys next time.